Hundreds of years before the first Christmas morning, the prophet Isaiah penned these words, "For a child is born to us, a son is given to us. The government will rest on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace." Isaiah 9:6. Good morning and Merry Christmas. My name is Brenton, and I am so excited that you are joining us as part of this Christmas celebration. Christmas is a moment for us to remember the truth that God came to be with us in the form of His Son Jesus, and this is incredible news. It's news that's certainly worth celebrating. And we at the Orchard Northside love to gather together, and we recognize that many of you will be gathering with family, friends, and other loved ones this day. So we wanted to create an opportunity to mark this day that wouldn't be limited to one space or location or service. We wanted to create an opportunity to worship in every home, apartment, car ride, wherever people might be enjoying the day together. We hope that your day is filled with joy, love, and peace as we recognize the presence of Christ among us. Merry Christmas.
What's up, everybody? This is the Orchard Gingerbread Challenge. My name is Joey. I'm your host today. We have a great challenge set up for y'all. These are going to be our competitors in our gingerbread challenge. Here are our rules. You each have a station behind us right now that has different kind of gingerbread houses, gingerbread kits that you can make, and you get as creative as possible. And it's not just a house you'll be building a whole vista. I need more energy, guys. You guys excited? All right, let's get started. Check out our competitors here. What's up, St. Nicholas? How you doing?
What's up, what's up? I'm doing good so far.
Tell me, we each asked our competitors to bring a special item. What is your special item today?
I really don't know what it is, but it was a decoration at our house.
Oh, wow.
Dina is tired of it, and it's been sitting out in the garage for a while, so I'm like, hey.
Love it.
Good start.
All right, little Daniel boy, walk me through what you're thinking here.
Well, I think I'm going to try to concoct some kind of scene of Orchard Tupelo.
Okay. Now, we asked each of our contestants to bring a secret weapon item. What is your secret weapon item?
I have none other than our founder, Brian Collier.
Oh, wow.
To guard his flock.
Is that to scale?
You know, we'll see. So.
Pathway here, is this like
a little driveway.
Gravel?
A little driveway. Got some other stuff to add to it here in a second.
Okay, I like it. You've painted the walls.
I have.
You've painted the walls, my friend.
The walls are painted.
And unlike Jericho, these walls will not fall.
I wouldn't say that.
This ground is not good. It's not. We didn't do a soil survey or whatever you do to make sure you can.
We've come to the end. Our competitors have given their all their 35 minutes worth of creativity, marvel, and amazement. And it's all come down to this. Diane and Glenn Ray Harris, will you walk me through this creation?
Absolutely. I will. This is what happens when we think we can, and we can't.
Little Daniel boy, walk me through your piece.
So obviously it is a white Christmas as we gather at the Orchard Tupelo.
It snows so often here.
It does. The front, we have our founder and shepherd, Brian Collier, guarding the front door.
And I would say it is to scale. All right, Easton.
Joey?
Walk me through this.
Well, see, I like to call this piece, what could go wrong went wrong.
But you tried. You gave it your best shot. You gave it a shot. What is this, Billy?
So, you know, Joey, when we were talking before, I told you that Orchard Northside was my inspiration.
Yes.
For this piece. And
I'm confused. I thought it was a Bass Pro Shop.
well,
That's what I was going for. It's like, this is a great Bass Pro.
it very well could be a Bass Pro Shop if you wanted it to be. Honestly, it can be whatever you want it to be.
It's a lot. It's a lot going on.
It's really candy chaos.
Oh, is that the name for this piece?
No, it's Raisin Cane.
Raisin Cane?
Yeah. And it's not necessarily like a tornado, but maybe. Maybe it's a hurricane.
Coming in 5th place, because it literally collapsed on screen, Brother Rick.
Raisin Cane.
Raisin Cane, that's right. In 4th place, Wiseman from the East End, 4th place.
He doesn't even have gingerbread.
Not last. Coming in third place, Brother Billy. Let's go. Good job. Good job. And our winner, by creating a masterpiece to hang up in the greatest known galleries in the world, little Daniel Boy with the Orchard. Thank you for joining us for this year's Orchard Gingerbread Challenge, and we'll see you next year.
During this season of giving, one of the best ways to give is in giving back to others. At Northside, we do this through our local food pantry, Bearcat Market. Bearcat Market is supported by the Baldwin School System and is an incredible opportunity for us to feed families in that school system. Bearcat Market is in a better place than we have ever been before. We're feeding more families, and while we have access to food, there are a few ways that we could use your help. Our next food packing is January the 11th, 2023, and one of the ways that you can partner with us is to actually help us prepare over 100 boxes for the families who will receive them in January. In addition to food for the boxes, we've learned through our relationship with the Baldwin School System that the toiletries are in a huge need. In the past, we have donated toiletries to the counselors to give away, but our supply is low, so we are asking you to bring any toiletries to Northside by January the 8th so that we can fill those boxes back up. Our dates to put on your calendar: toiletries to Northside by January the 8th and packed food boxes on January the 11th at Baldwin High School. We look forward to serving with you there.
Music has this unique and special way of telling the story of God and connecting us to one another and God. When we sing, we're not just singing out words, we're singing to God who is present in our midst. The songs we sing at Christmas remind us of this deep reality of God with us. These songs are rich and they tell the story of God, the good news and hope for all the world. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. The baby Jesus reveals to us what really is real. Jesus is God with you. More than a name, Emmanuel is a declaration of heaven meeting earth. God with us, bringing light to the darkness, hope within despair, and even peace amidst the chaos. The Orchard has created a Christmas playlist that you can play wherever you are today. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube. This Christmas season, may your hearts truly sing joy, because God is with us.
I'm a little obsessive compulsive by nature. Everything has a place, and I like it in its place. I must confess that those first couple of hours when the Christmas decorations are all over the floor and the table, and the tree is not upright yet, and the lights are a bundled mess, that there's a little bah humbug in me, because that's a lot of disorder for the moment and it doesn't really seem worth it. Let's just put it all back in the box where it goes and get everything back in its place. Of course, order comes, the tree goes up, the ornaments and the lights get hung, and the beauty emerges from the chaos, and I'm grateful and moved by the decorations that remind me how deeply special this season is. Then the chaos of Christmas morning hits. My kids, who I've had to drag out of bed the other 364 days of the year, are up before the sun on Christmas Day. Then there's a wrapping paper tornado that hits the floor in the room where everyone gathers to open gifts. Even if there aren't many gifts, wrapping paper seems to multiply. It's everywhere. You can't step without stepping in it or over it, or you're getting stuck to your sock with the tape that's still on the edges. There is nothing like the uninhibited joy of a Christmas morning. Even my OCD bears the chaos gladly, overcome by the moments that will be harder to capture again until next year. And then, all the wrapping paper is packed up, bagged up, the ornaments are put away, and we are left with the gifts. We dig the gifts out from under the wrapping and packaging, and chaos and disorder gives way to order. That's Christmas. God Himself in a baby. Something, someone to hold on to for the rest of the year and for the rest of our lives. In the middle of our chaos and disorder, a gift from God that brings great joy. So before we gather it all up and pack it all away, let's make sure we dig the real gift of Christmas out from under all the trappings of the season. We invite you to hear the story again.
At that time, the Roman Emperor Augustus decreed that a census should be taken throughout the Roman Empire. This is the first census taken since Quirinius was governor of Syria. All returned to their ancestral towns to register for this census. And because Joseph was a descendant of King David, he had to go to Bethlehem in Judea, David's ancient home. He traveled there from the village of Nazareth in Galilee. He took with him Mary, to whom he was engaged, who was now expecting a child. And while they were there, the time came for her baby to be born. She gave birth to her firstborn son. She wrapped him snugly in strips of cloth and laid him in a manger because there was no lodging available for them. Luke 2, 1-7.
For the census, the royal family has to travel 85 miles from the northern region in Nazareth down to the desert along the Dead Sea and back up into the foothills below Jerusalem where Bethlehem sits. Joseph walks while Mary, 9 months pregnant, rides side saddle on a donkey, feeling every jolt, every rut, every rock in the road. 85 miles.
By the time they arrive, the small hamlet of Bethlehem is swollen from an influx of travelers. The inn is packed, people feeling lucky if they were able to negotiate even a small space on the floor. Now it is late, everyone is asleep, and there is no room.
But fortunately, the innkeeper is not all shekels and mites. True, his stable is crowded with his guests' animals, but if they could squeeze out a little privacy there, they were welcome to it. Joseph looks over at Mary, whose attention is concentrated on fighting a contraction. "We'll take it," he tells the innkeeper without hesitation. They make their way down to the stable. The night is still when Joseph creaks open the door. As he does, a chorus of barn animals makes discordant note of the intrusion. The stench is pungent and humid, as there have not been enough hours in the day to tend the guests, let alone the livestock.
A small oil lamp lent them by the innkeeper flickers to dance shadows on the walls. It is a disquieting place for a woman in the throes of childbirth.
She, a young teenage girl, far from home, far from family, far from what she had expected for her firstborn.
But Mary makes no complaint. It is a relief just to finally get off her feet. She leans back against the wall, her feet swollen, back aching, contractions growing harder and closer together. Joseph's eyes dart around the stable, not a minute to lose. Quickly, a feeding trough would have to make do for a crib. Hay would serve as a mattress, but blankets. His robe. That would do.
And those rags hung out to dry would help. A gripping contraction doubles Mary over and sends him racing for a bucket of water. The birth would not be easy.
For every royal privilege of this son ended at conception. A scream from Mary knifes through the calm of the previously silent night. Joseph turns, breathless, water sloshing from the wooden bucket. The top of the baby's head has already begun to push its way into the world. Sweat pours from Mary's contorted face as Joseph, the most unlikely midwife in all the land, rushes to her side.
The involuntary contractions are not enough, and Mary has to push with all of her strength. It is as if God were refusing to come into the world without her help. Joseph places a garment beneath her, and with a final push and a long sigh, her labor is over.
The King of the world has arrived. The baby chokes and coughs. Joseph instinctively turns him over and clears his throat. Then he cries. Mary reaches for the shivering baby. She lays him on her chest, and his helpless cries subside. Mary can feel his racing heartbeat as he gropes to nurse. This will be the first thing the infant king learns.
Could anything be more puzzling or more profound? The Messiah, utterly dependent. Joseph sits exhausted, silent, full of wonder. The baby finishes nursing and sighs, the divine word reduced to a few unintelligible sounds.
Then, for the first time, his eyes fix on his mother's. Deity straining to focus, the light of the world squinting to see. Tears pool in her eyes. She touches his tiny hand. And hands that once sculpted mountain ranges wrap tiny fingers around hers. She looks up at Joseph, and through a watery veil, their souls touch. He crowds closer, cheek to cheek with his betrothed. And together they stare in awe at the baby Jesus, whose heavy eyelids begin to close.
The King of the world is tired. And so, with barely a ripple of notice, God stepped into a warm lake of humanity. Without protocol and without pretension.
Where you would have expected angels, there were only flies.
Where you would have expected heads of state, there were only donkeys.
A few haltered cows, a nervous ball of sheep, a tethered camel.
And a furtive scurry of curious barn mice. Except for Joseph, there was no one to share Mary's pain or her joy.
Yes, there were angels announcing the Savior's arrival, but only to a band of blue-collar shepherds. And yes, a magnificent star showed in the sky to mark his birthplace, but only for 3 foreigners bothered to look up and follow it. Thus, in the little town of Bethlehem, that one silent night, the royal birth of God's Son tiptoed quietly by as the world slept.
Highest enthroned you, left for a manger, born as the hope of man, the perfect solution for our redemption, fulfilling the Father's plan. And holy, oh my God, you're holy. You're the one and only, worthy of all praise and glory. I give all the glory to the one and only, name above all names. Shepherds and angels together in worship, they welcome you with a song. Still on the earth we join with the heavens, adoring you, Christ the Lord. And holy, oh my God, you're holy. You're the one and only, worthy of all praise and glory. I give all the glory to the one and only, name above all names.
Hey everyone, my name is Devin. I'm a husband, father, and also have the honor and privilege of being one of the pastors here at the Orchard Northside. I know this day's busy. Trust me, I have 2 kids of my own. I know the exhaustion that comes from running from house to house, meal to meal, and present to present. I understand the balancing act between families, and at the heart of these activities are good intentions. But if we're not careful, we will look back in this day and it's nothing but a blur. Yet, in the midst of the food and the gifts, friends and family, there's a promise. At a particular time, in a particular place, Jesus was born. And Jesus has come to be with us in the midst of our exhaustion, shuffling around and balancing act. Jesus has come to be with us. And whatever this day brings, Jesus comes to be with us. That's why this day is a promise of hope, of light, breaking through the darkness. We are not alone. And as we continue in our celebration on this day and look forward to 2023, I'd like to invite you to join us at the Orchard Northside. We like to call ourselves the Small Town Orchard. We celebrate that, and we hope that you feel that when you walk through our doors. And we exist to grow deep in the love of Jesus and to branch out to others with that love. If you're looking for a place to call home, come check us out next Sunday, January 1st at 10:30 for a family service, or really any Sunday at 10:30 after that. We hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we'll see you soon.